Indie animation's pretty good, isn't it? And yes, I know, that statement was made for shocking. But it's true, indie animation has had a massive resurgence in popularity lately, especially on YouTube, which is probably the best place to be an independent animator these days. We got channels like VisiBop, who's producing some of the most appealing, colourful and funny animations that are on the platform currently. Now I do think Hell of a Boss is better than Has Been Hotel, because Has Been Hotel doesn't have Brandon Rogers, and Brandon Rogers is just such a chaotic evil. I absolutely love him. It's funny because you've got entire teams worth of people working countless hours and then just putting this stuff to watch for free on YouTube, the crazy bastards. I mean, as well as channels like VisiBop, we've got solo animators like AimKid or Tiff who are producing some really smooth animations for people for just one-person teams. Seriously, like, watch any one of AimKid's videos. They're animated at 18 FPS, and at the same time they feel so smooth and so appealing. It's honestly, I don't know who they sold their soul to get animation that smooth, but they did, and I suppose it was a good investment, wasn't it? We also have slightly bigger channels like Noodle, for example, which are literally teams of animators all working together to produce literally animated short-length YouTube videos about Dying Light. Why they decided to do that, I've got no idea, seeing as Dying Light isn't even that good of a game. And of course, we have the darlingest of indie animation darlings, Glitch Productions, who does hold a certain place in my heart. It might be Stockholm Syndrome though, I'm not entirely sure. I did spend 3 weeks on that Murder Drones video essay, I still haven't recovered. It's clear to see why they're causing indie animation to have such a resurgence. They produce some of the most appealing 3D animations that I've seen in a really long time. This is like Pixar quality stuff right here. With series like Metal Runner and my personal favourite, Murder Drones. But in today's video, we aren't talking about Murder Drones, not for about a month yet, not until episode 7 premieres at least. And how long are we into the video? I should probably talk about the amazing Digital Circus, shouldn't I? Now, this series is utterly batshit insane and I love it. Wait, do I need to beep my swears? Oh, off. I mean, this isn't a surprising revelation because Glitch are known for making series with unorthodox storylines. Looking at you, Murder Drones. Maybe I'm biased because I do like entertainment that tells a good story in an insane way. I mean, some of my favourite games of all time are Metal Gear Solid 5 and Yakuza 3. But according to pretty much everyone in the comments section and the obscene amount of views and likes this thing has at time of writing, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who likes it. The animation quality is simply amazing with some great use of colour and also squash and stretch. See, I know animation lingo. And the whole thing feels like a video game. Strange glitches and all. Why hasn't this been patched yet? The character designs are all really unique and creative. I've never seen a character who's a circus ringmaster with a mouth for a head and eyes in said mouth. Do you now understand why I said it's batshit insane? And I think this series literally has one of the funniest executions of black comedy I've ever seen. Seriously, this thing tops Portal in terms of black comedy, and that's bloody saying something. I've pretty much fallen in love with this series, and I sincerely hope it doesn't get cancelled like a Meta Runner. So I'm here, in my slightly opinionated wisdom, to explain to you why this show is absolutely bloody brilliant. So sit down, relax, grab a carbonated drink of your choice. Personally, I like Fanta. Grab some snacks because we are in for another long video that will drive me to alcoholism. Enjoy! Episode 1 starts with an intro that I'd expect from a 90s edutainment game haunting a blockbuster bargain bin. This is purposeful as it's revealed later that this whole thing is one big video game. Whether or not it's an edutainment game or not hasn't been revealed, but let's face it, it probably is. The logo flies on screen with appropriately bit-crushed music, and the camera zooms into the circus tent, and we are met with probably the best designed character in this whole series, that being the ringmaster, Kane. He gives us a warm and friendly welcome to the amazing Digital Circus. He emotes and acts like a kids game character should, showing off a flamboyant and instantly lovable nature, and if you couldn't tell, he's my favourite character. It was love at first sight, pretty much. Listen, we already got hashtag #NCuresDepression to be a thing, so can we also get hashtag Kane is the best to be a thing as well? Please. He deserves a lot of love because he's amazing. Anyway, he greets us and says that we are in for an amazing time, and he introduces us to the character of Bobble, who looks like a transparent version of that one chain chomp from that Mario Kart Wii level that absolutely bloody terrified me as a kid. No, I'm not the only one, shut up. Without further ado, we are introduced to our main cast in this amazing song that I'm honestly so sad to have to talk over. Seriously, just go and listen to it, it's such a bop. So we're introduced to Gangle and Zooble and King of Two. He looks, stable. Ragatha, who's this like ragdoll thing. Jax, this purple rabbit who looks like if Bugs Bunny went to Liberty City and had serious talks with Nico Bellic. What I mean is he looks like if Bugs Bunny was a gangster. And Kothmo the clown, who didn't show up today. And in classic Glitch Productions fashion, this is foreshadowing, because seriously, what isn't in these shows? As the song continues, it glitches, repeating day after day after day after day a few times. This implies that the disc running the game is scratched. I remember on the Wii, games that had deep enough scratches that would often have multiple audio glitches before booting you to this screen. And this screen right here, this is my personal PS2 red screen of death. This terrified me as a kid and I don't know why. The song states that they fly with the moon and sun, and they don't know why. As the song plays, we see this jester-like character teleport into the scene. She looks confused, terrified almost of what she's seeing. She spies an exit door that honestly looks like an asset from the Source engine and runs towards it, but the thing gets blipped before she can actually step through it. As the song continues, she panics more and more. This flower falls and starts clipping into the ground. Is this the Amazing Digital Circus or Cyberpunk? She steps away from the spasming plant and ends up knocking over Jax, Kinger and Gangle, who breaks his happy mask revealing a sad mask. She wears the two masks of comedy and tragedy. This is extremely interesting. From this point in the episode, Gangle is constantly upset or crying, and seeing as the comedy mask was above the tragedy one, this implies that she wears the mask to hide how she is truly feeling. I might be looking way too far into this, and it's probably just a sight gag and nothing more, but shut up, okay, it's my video. The music stops, and Jax questions if the jester is an NPC or a new human that's been brought to their world. He expresses annoyance on having to do the whole theme song again, and Zooble outright refuses to do it again. They've probably done this gag about 1,000,000 times whenever someone boots up the game, so they're probably all bloody sick of the song at this point. Kane states, My! It appears a new human has entered this realm! This implies that all the characters apart from him are humans that have been transported into this world by some VR simulation. This is further proof by the jester desperately trying to take off the headset to try and escape this colourful nightmare world. She states that she put some kind of weird headset on and now she's here. This reminds me a lot of Boneworks. In the story to that game, the entire first half is a simulation set inside a virtual operating system, and at halfway through you take the headset off, but whilst you are in the simulation you do not have motor function in your real life body. This could be what's happening to her. This is why the real life her can't remove the headset. Ragatha tries to calm her down, but the jester exclaims, What the is going on? Did you really have to censor fuck? Come on. Her swear word is bleeped, further proof that this is an edutainment game of some kind. Kane explains that she stumbled into an incredible world where anything can happen, aside from swearing, and the jester tries pretty much every swear word under the sun. She realises that the profanity filter is too much to handle. Have you tried the word wanker? That's definitely a very specific British and Australian swear word. I doubt the profanity filter will pick up on it. The group reveals that you can't leave and Kinger has been stuck here the most, which is probably the reason why he looks so stable. She tries to dismiss this all a dream, but Jax says, Whatever you say, kid. You are an absolute dickhead and I love you for it. Jax asks if there's a new adventure for them today, whilst stepping on Gangle's broken comedy mask. Kane states he's going to show the newbie around the grounds. He shows her the entire place, plus this strange nth dimension called the Void. This looks like when you no-clip through a source map and the skybox starts fucking itself. He states that we stay right here, where I can keep my hundreds of all-seeing eyes on you. This suggests that he is some kind of captor. He's keeping everyone in the simulation and doesn't want them to go out into the void, but as he can't see what they're doing. Perhaps the void is a direct link to the outside world, and venturing too far into it will take you back to reality. Kane takes her back into the tent and she vomits. Hang on a minute, I recognise that oil shader. Murder Drones X The Amazing Digital Circus confirmed. God, I hate myself for saying that. Bubble tries to clean it up by licking it. Disgusting! The jester states that she saw an exit door whilst her and Kane were flying around. Jack states that she's probably hallucinating because if there was an exit, they would have all been long gone by now. He also gets choked out by Zooble. He does kind of nick her arm and use it as a back scratcher. This is why I really like Zooble as well. Zooble's just a great character. Kane assures her that there is no exit door and she's experiencing, quote, digital hallucinations. Gaslighting, eh? This further proves my theory that he is their captor. Kane changes the subject onto her name, which she can't remember. Kane says that her new name can be anything, aside from hereby acknowledging that your chosen name and or names may not breach the Digital Circus user license agreement, stating that your name may not include objectionable content. Objectionable content includes but is not limited to sexually explicit materials, obscene, defamatory, libelous, slanderous, violent, and or unlawful content or profanity. He spins a wheel, and it first lands on XDDCC. I'm pretty sure I once named a Fallout character that before because I couldn't think of a funny name and I face planted my keyboard. After a second name, it lands on Pomni. This is the name for our protagonist. Kane says it's time to have an adventure for the newbie. She states, do you like adventure? Activity? Wonder? Danger? Horror? Pain? Suffering? Agony? Death? Disease? Death? Angel food cake? Ow! You parrot!
parasite!
Damn, now I want some cake. That gag made me laugh quite hard, and I've got no idea why. Kane states that today's adventure will be gathering the gloinks. So gloinks are these little polygonal shaped things that enjoy stealing random objects, so they're pretty much the clientele of Glastonbury Festival. Oh wait, I've just realised I didn't do any character profiles. Hang on, let me shoot through this. Pomni, definitely human, trapped here after putting on a strange headset. High-pitched voice, reminds me a lot of Ashley from Resident Evil 4. Jax, dickhead rabbit, like I said, Bugs Bunny by way of Nico Bellic. Ragatha, nice ragdoll lady, sacrifices herself to save Pomni, kind of, and isn't even mad about it. Gangle, depressed person that puts on a smile, made of red string. Kane, best character on the whole show and you can't change my mind. Kinga, definitely stable. Zubul, angsty, doesn't join in with the adventures, utterly hilarious, doesn't give a fuck about the profanity filter. And Kothmo, we'll get to him. Right, all done? Great. Ragatha states that Kane does these little adventures to keep them from going insane. This further proves my point that he's a captor of sorts. And having insane captives is not fun. Trust me, the noises from my loft keep me up at night.
Shut up there, for goodness sake.
After Zubul tells them to fuck off, her body gets disassembled and taken by the gloinks. Bloody Glastonbury Festival goers. Ragatha decides that they should go and check on the clown character, Kothmo. She asks Kinga if she's seen him recently. Kinga states that he fears that Kothmo may have gone insane. Looks like Kane's adventures aren't enough to ward off insanity. It gets you in the end. Pomni states that she would like to go and talk to him, as Kothmo was overheard rambling about an exit door. And Jax decides that himself, Pomni and Ragatha will go check on Kothmo, whilst Kinga and Gangle go and collect the gloinks. He states that,
Of course I do. They're the two most mentally stable and capable characters to be paired together.
God, Kinga is just going insane in the background there. Ragatha explains that they all sleep in their own rooms. They don't need sleep, but it's nice to have a routine to ward off the insanity. Isn't the definition of insanity doing the exact same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome? Interesting. Ragatha tries to explain why they don't find a way out and...
Well, we usually do when we first arrive, but after a while you start to realize that you really can't leave, and constantly chasing an unattainable goal will start driving you a bit crazy. And eventually you get to asking what the point of anything is, and you completely lose sight of who you are and why you're even alive, and when you reach your breaking point, something really terrible can happen.
Literally has an existential crisis. They knock on Kothmo's door, and after he doesn't answer, Jax just unlocks it with a key that he has, and he offhandedly mentions that he has keys to all of their rooms. Little fucking creepy, mate, not gonna lie. He opens the door and we see dozens and dozens of scrawlings on the walls, all saying exit. Clearly the insanity has got to Kothmo, and he's turned into that. What in the fuck? Jax just pieces out, and Ragatha states that,
Oh! Kothmo's been obstructed!
abstraction in computer science is the practice of removing unnecessary details from a problem to focus on the main issue. It would seem that his character model was seen as unnecessary because he's now this thing. Ragatha gets knocked to the floor by Kothmo. She states,
Well, listen, I know we didn't always get along, like when you called me out for fake laughing at your jokes. I swear I really did think they were funny. I was just having a bit of a bad day!
and then gets the shit kicked out of her. The beating causes her to start glitching out. Pomni grabs onto her hand to try and help her, but the glitch spreads to her hand. She runs away from Kothmo and causes him to break through a barrier and let him loose inside the circus tent. Oh shit. We cut to Kinga and Gangle staring down a hole where some of Zubul's pieces went. Jax comes in and barefaced lies to their face about Kothmo being completely fine before kicking them down the hole. The three of them slide down a slide that was inexplicably there for some reason, and Jax hitting a spare on these bowling pins as he lands, until they reach the lair of this gross slug thing that's feeding off the objects that gloinks are stealing. Kinga and Gangle share a terrified glance before... Okay, I really like Klinger. He acts exactly how I'd act in this batshit crazy situation. Going back to Pomni, she apologizes to Ragatha for not helping her and shows the glitch on her hand. Perhaps if you get touched by someone who is abstracted, the abstraction spreads. This means that if Ragatha isn't helped by Kane, she'll be abstracted as well. Ragatha says that if Pomni can find Kane, then he can fix her and deal with Kothmo. She states that Pomni can find Kane just by, running around and calling his name. What, are you trying to recreate 28 Days Later? This is how you bring monsters towards you. Ragatha also apologizes for Pomni's first day being severely messed up. I mean, that's one word for it. Pomni starts opening random doors to try and find Kane, even getting sock and boppered twice. She hears glass shattering and looks around the corner to see the abstractive Kothmo. It sees her and Pomni tries to make a run for it. Back with Jax and the gang, the slug thing is explaining how she is the Gloink Queen, a kind of ruler over the Gloinks. Kinga tries to get Zubul back diplomatically and he sees Zubul's head going past. He tries to grab it and...
Gotcha! Oh.
Hey! King, are you mother...
I love the fact that she called him a motherfucker. You can actually hear the muffled fucker part if you listen close enough. Gangle cries a little and Jack states that Zubul will be fine, most likely. Also, there's a gloink spazzing out in the background. Seriously, this game has more bugs than Cyberpunk. Meanwhile, in a shittier predicament, Pomni is running for her life from the extracted Kaufmo. As she runs, she catches sight of her reflection and she seems almost disturbed by the way she looks. It's clearly a massive shock to her. But Kaufmo is still giving chase, so she runs to a barrel of monkeys, opens it, and then hides behind it. Clearly Kaufmo is dumber than the AI in the first Splinter Cell game because she's clearly visible. Kaufmo runs after the monkeys and Pomni goes back to looking for Kane, but then she sees it. An exit. She heads through it and she ends up in the Stanley Parable. Hang on, I gotta do this.
Okay, are you ready? Ready when you are, go ahead.
This is the story of a bot named Pomni. Pomni was a human who was brought to this fantastical world of the amazing digital circus. She initially had a mild freakout and dismissed the whole ordeal as a dream, but as she came to the realization that this was real, she realizes that the world she is currently residing in is pretty messed up. I should have been a voice actor, man, seriously. Pomni runs through the office space. The more doors she opens, the more the office seems to sprawl. It's like it's being procedurally generated by some bugged code. It's just like a dev room of sorts, a place where you store overpowered items and corpses to make sure the game doesn't slow down too much. This practice is very common in Bethesda games, by the way, and the one in Skyrim is ridiculously easy to get to. Coming back to the other members, the Gloink Queen is spouting off about how everything must be Gloinks, but her tirade is cut short by Kaufmo breaking through the floor and then kicking the shit out of her, causing her to spit out Zubul. Kinga starts to panic about escaping, but Zubul just points that there's an escalator right there. The three decide to escape using that. Pomni is still running through the Stanley Parable, but this time Kevin Brighting's soothing voice isn't here to calm you down. She starts to go insane as the doors lead to more doors, and she sees a computer monitor on a desk. Keep this computer monitor in mind, okay? She goes through a door into a large room with a C&A company logo on it. Perhaps these are the creators of the simulation that she is trapped in. She runs through another door and a hallway stretches longer and longer, and it seems to struggle to reach the door when suddenly she ends up in the void. The office space truly was being procedurally generated to avoid people accidentally stumbling into the void. The void is truly an amazing place with this soothing orchestral score accompanying it, almost saying, "Don't worry, kid. You made it." Pomni enters hyperspace as she hurtles through the void. She seems almost mesmerized as she travels further and further through this dimensional plane. Cutting back to Kane, he's having dinner with Bubble in a restaurant littered with wooden mannequins from the Unreal Asset Store Guide to Character Designs. He shares a laugh with Bubble, but he's cut short by his wacky watch getting a notification that someone is out in the void. By the way, the wacky watch is only $19.95 including shipping. By today, Kane whooshes into the void and rescues Pomni, who looks like her brain is turning to mush. Clearly the void is too much to handle for mere mortals. Jax runs up to Kane and tells him that Kaufmo abstracted, so Kane just picks him up and shoves him into a cellar full of thousands of other abstracted individuals. This has clearly happened before, many times. Zubul comments on the fact that she never thought Kaufmo would just give up like that, prompting Jax to say,
I mean, no offense, Kinger, but I always thought you would be next.
Thank you. Guess it just goes to show you can't rely on Kinger for anything.
You really are one of the most disgusting humans I've ever met.
Ragatha crawls up to Kane saying,
I am in so much pain!
And Kane repairs her with the snap of his fingers. Kane apologizes for not telling the truth about the exit. He knew there was one because he knew everyone wanted to leave so badly, so he started building one but, never actually got around to finishing it. This implies that he is the maker of the game, a developer maybe who's trapped in the simulation along with the others. He states that he hates people seeing his work unfinished. Kane states that their reward for killing the Gloink Queen is a digital feast made by Bubble, who says,
Made with all the love I'm legally allowed to give.
I don't know how to feel about that. Okay, the food's definitely poisoned, I'm calling it. Pomni is having a complete breakdown and she sits perfectly still, contemplating what she saw. She stares forward, perhaps trying to come to terms with the predicament that she is stuck here indefinitely, and she can't leave. Ever, no matter how hard she tries. Her face quivers as she puts on a demented smile, and the camera zooms out and we see just how far into the void this place is. It zooms out all the way into what I can only assume is the real world, with the same computer monitor from earlier sitting on the desk, dilapidated and ancient, a single PC running their whole world. The office space Pomni went to was a representation of the real world. And with that, the episode ends. So, this series is absolutely batshit insane, but I mean, what did we expect from Glitch Productions? Personally, I think that this series is probably one of the best animated things I've seen in a really long time. Maybe not quite as good as Murder Drones, but right up there. Like I've said, the animation is very fluid and detailed, and they have a really great use of colour scheming and squash and stretch. I think that it's just really, really nice to look at. And the voice acting and black comedy is just simply amazing. maybe it doesn't trump Portal entirely, but it's definitely right up there. It's up there with one of the black comedy gods. So, I mean, that's it for episode 1. But wait a minute, this video isn't long enough. Hang on, got a pad with some theories, boys. So where do I think that this series is going? Well, with the revelation that Kane can build levels for the game, I personally think that it will turn out that he is the developer of the game. He somehow got trapped in the simulation, probably in a similar way to how Pomni arrived in the simulation. He's probably trapped here, and he's keeping the people who get trapped here, he's keeping them there. Pretty much, he doesn't want them to escape because he doesn't want to be alone again. I personally believe that the CNA company that we see when Pomni is running through the hallways is the company, the developers behind this game. They made the game, and maybe Kane was a developer working for them, which is how he has access to the project in the first place. He's either a developer or he's just some, you know, average Joe Schmo who for some reason has admin powers and no clip and also a level editor. Personally, I think he does know about a true exit. He didn't, you know, forget to finish building the exit. He knows full well where the exit is. He doesn't want anyone to leave. Maybe he was alone for a really, really long time before Kinger actually arrived, because Kinger is implied to be the first person who actually arrived in the simulation. Perhaps Kane went a little bit crazy, but for some reason he didn't abstract, so I guess Kaufman just got bad luck on that one. But, yeah, I think that he got trapped here, and now that people have started to arrive into the simulation, he doesn't want them to leave again. Because, I mean, being lonely, it does things to you. Simon from Cry of Fear was right. I personally believe that this series is going to be a rabbit hole, a bit like Murder Drones, where we're going to get further and further into the insanity of this world, and I think the game's just going to keep getting glitchier and glitchier and glitchier until the whole thing just collapses in on itself and causes some kind of quantum entanglements issue. Keep in mind there's only one episode of this so far, so this is kind of all just speculation on my behalf, but that's where I think the series is going to go. I'm probably completely incorrect. I mean, I was on a lot of things with the Murder Drones video essay, which follow-up is coming soon when episode 7 gets released. I will do a section fixing my cock-ups. All in all, this series is just utterly brilliant. Please go and watch it, and also go buy some Glitch Productions merch, because that's pretty much what keeps the lights on for them, because you know, monetizing animations on YouTube is just really hard, and plus YouTube payments are worth shit these days, so go buy some merch, go support them, as you're helping a really good cause, and hopefully you can get more absolutely brilliant series like The Amazing Digital Circus and Murder Drones. And whilst you're feeling generous, why not subscribe whilst you're here, as we recently experienced exponential growth ever since I released that Murder Drones video 20 days ago at time of recording. Literally exponential. We have earned a little over nearly 300 subscribers, and I got an email earlier from YouTube saying that I am eligible for channel memberships now, so watch out for a video about that in the very near future, as soon as they verify my AdSense account, which is going to take 2 to 3 weeks, or even a month according to them. They don't bloody know, so I don't bloody know. We're currently at about 760 odd subscribers. Actually, no, I think it was like nearly 800. It was about 775 last time I checked. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers, I can actually taste it behind the mask. And I think it'll be awesome when we finally do. I'll probably be the happiest person in the world when we finally do reach 1,000 subscribers, because as soon as you reach 1,000, it can only go up from there, unless you're Quebble Cop, in which case So comment, like, and subscribe. Go onto Twitter, get hashtag #EnCursDepression and hashtag Kane is the best trending for me, and I will see you in the next video, whenever that may be. Stay safe out there, guys.